Hello everyone, and welcome to another Company Heroes 2 replay cast. My name is ATR, and today we're going to have ourselves a 1v1 on Semoskiy Winter. Our heroes today are going to be DaneNeral, playing as the US forces in the blue. And his opponent in the red is going to be Derek, playing as the Wehrmacht. And there we go. So Semoskiy Winter, we know it, we love it, we hate it. We don't hate it because it's bad, we hate it because we casted too many games all at once one time. But many of you probably don't know about that, but if you check in the channel, in the playlist, there's a playlist of the Sunday Night Fights tournament, where a round of 128 was played in this particular map, and for some reason I decided to go and cast all those games from that round and kind of burned myself out in this map. So I don't do it that often, but it's not played that often either, so it's fine. Every once in a while I'm okay with it. I've gotten past it. So let's take a look at what's going on with our players. We see that DaneNeral has gone for his Doctrine directly, which is the rifle company, and well, obviously it is one of those doctrines that you want to go and get from the very start, if you have a strategy revolving around it, because, well, it gives you the elite rifleman training. So it allows you to call in a bit of a more expensive rifleman squad, but it comes with predetermined veterancy, or, well, more of a random veterancy, I believe. And it also has the ability to upgrade with a flamethrower, so they're superior to standard riflemen, and they're gives you a little bit more flexibility. But for now, DaneNeral is simply going to be building himself some rifle squads. Has three already produced, I guess. I mean, now it's actual, but one was being produced. So he had two on the field, one being produced, the third one hitting the field right now. We'll see if he decides to go for elite riflemen afterwards, but for now, he starts with three. His opponent goes for Tier 1, setting that building off on the edge of the map. Again, Derek probably being one of those old Vico players. Opens up with Pioneers, gets himself 3 Pioneers to start, and then following that up with MG42. So skipping Grenadier so far. We'll see if he goes for anything like that, but for now, just setting up. Gets his first MG42 on the right-hand side. Second one coming on the field right now, probably going to be heading into the center. Pioneers moving around in the center, just capturing territory. Not really doing too much as the engagements have not kicked off. Rifleman squad in the center will be running into that Pio squad a little bit up to the north. Pio squad is in position to get themselves inside that house and delay, but they don't have much to delay towards. The MG42 is still rather far away, so it's going to take a while for it to get there. So the Pios decide, you know what, we're just going to GTFO and, well, head somewhere else. Right-hand side, we have rifles and rear echelon squads engaging, but, engaging a Pio squad, but it is supported by an MG42. Rear echelon squad suppressed, crawling out of the way. Rifle squad as well, she's crawling out of the way. So both squads are now out of the way. We see DaneNeral activating his volley fire. Volley fire is very, I guess, weird ability now. I mean, it was ridiculously broken in OP to start with, but I mean, the squad is going to get suppressed if they stay in the engagement long enough. But it doesn't happen fast enough to really matter if you activate the ability. So I suppose it just increases the rate of fire and makes your rear echelon squad more vulnerable. But, I mean, I guess, yeah, I mean, I suppose it really just works as increasing the damage output while also increasing the damage input to the squad. So if you have it behind the cover of a rifle squad, like it was a second ago, it's fine, but right now it's just getting assaulted by 2 Pio squad that is currently getting covered by an MG42 at range. So the rear echelon squad backs off, gets itself into heavy cover, so it actually is in prime position to be able to fight these Pios. The Pios close the distance, get themselves into heavy cover, and will be able to delay while a second Pio squad gets some shots off from the flank. Rear echelon squad not having an easy time here, needs a little bit of help, but it is, for the most part, fine. We do have a ambulance in the center for DaneNeral, although it is, well, actually, no, it's not bad. I was going to say it's unsupported, but we do have 2 rifle squads right now in the center for DaneNeral. We also see a sniper on the field for Derek, so he goes 2 MGs into the sniper. That's kind of cool. I mean, it's weird, but cool. Sorry. But not much going on. We see Derek laying down some S minefields right here in the bridge. Interesting. Huh? Is that how it works? So they only lay down one, but the entire field gets produced. So that's weird. Pio Squad getting themselves into some heavy cover, managing to inflict a lot of damage here on those conscripts. However, the conscripts do win the engagement really at the close range, regardless of their SMG, so it does force a retreat. However, with the MG42 in the house to provide support and another Pio Squad nearby, and S minefields just getting laid down all over the place for Derek, it's going to be very difficult here for Mr. DaneNeral to be able to push. Ambulance in the center getting a little bit shot up there by the Pios. Rifle Squad is nearby. I don't know why I called that other one the conscript squad. It's a Rifle Squad. That's why they always win. But yeah, engagement in the center really not going to be too much of a deal. These rifles could actually close the distance right on top of the Pios regardless. They are in range of the ambulance, so they can just get reinforced if they take some losses. Sniper on the field, going to be moving up on the north, going to take a shot. Down goes one of the rifle squads. The rifle's able to take some shots. Actually nails the sniper there. You can see some health taken off of him, but the sniper just recloaks and stays alive. Lieutenant now on the field for Derek. He also starts getting himself a squad car? Not squad car, what's it called? The, yeah, utility car. The M20 utility car. Kind of the Company Heroes 2 version of the, what was it called? The Greyhound? I know the Greyhound is available in Doctrine form, but, I mean, it kind of has the same impact. Able to get in and push a lot. It doesn't have the ability against vehicles, really, but the crew does come equipped with a bazooka, so it handles in a different way, but, I mean, it's nice. I mean, 7 minutes in, you already have a vehicle on the field, and right now, if DaneNeral just pushes with this car, he really has a massive advantage. There's nothing on the field right now for Mr. Derek to be able to stop this utility car. Utility car, could get upgraded with the armored skirts, however, it's not getting upgraded. But, I mean, it's always a nice idea to get that. It improves its durability. And, yeah. Utility car coming up behind the lines. We'll be able to get a flank on that MG42. Well, not really. It's actually moving into its sight. But may also be able to catch a sniper. It's a nice move here. It's going straight for the sniper. The sniper runs away. The utility car now backs off. It's taking some shots as a sniper. It's missing completely. Needs to chase it down. Sniper not going to have too much luck here. Oh, utility car taking some damage there to the... oh, the sniper makes it out alive, almost gets the kill. But he does put the fear of God into him. Utility car now right in front of that MG42. Going to be clearing it out very easily. And forces away. Rifle squad able to push forward. They should be able to capture the point. And the utility car needs to pop out its crew and quickly get some repairs going. Get itself back to full strength. And that it does. So very nice, very nice. Up in the north, Pio Squad capturing the fuel. We have a Rifle Squad coming down on top of them. Second Rifle Squad up in the north. Getting forced away by a Pio Squad. A little bit of embarrassing display there, but it was supported by an MG42. So, you know, they had the reasons. Utility car now fully repaired in the center. Remember that you can always do the queue up. However, in this situation, it's not a bad idea considering they're capturing the point. Point gets captured. Let's see how on point is Dane on top of that. Pretty much on point. A couple seconds delay, but it's understandable. Lieutenant, moving over to the right-hand side. That utility car could be moved down to the south to dislodge the other MG42 from that fuel. Currently, though, it is just sitting around in the center, going to be capturing points. A little bit of a waste of a utility car. I mean, there is a rear echelon squad nearby and rifle squads around there. But, I mean, it's fine. I mean, he's okay. Yeah, the fuel point itself is cut off from his opponent, so, I mean, at the very least, he does have that. Rifles sitting in that house, going to be delaying that MG42. Remember, you can always tell your rifle squad what direction to retreat. They can retreat outside the house in this direction and then just leap over the fence and retreat. Grenade does go off right on top of the MG42, clearing out more members, down to 2 men. Gets packed up. Still getting cleared out. Is it getting reinforced? Is it actually in range of anything? MG42 finally opens up on the rifle squad. Rifle squad gets suppressed. Does manage to get down to 1 man. Can they actually clear it out? No, they're going to get themselves killed, and it looks like Dane may actually be... yeah, he waited too long. He's going to lose the squad, and down goes a rifle squad. That is unfortunate. Rifles on the left-hand side, engaging a Pio squad by themselves. They actually kept themselves a distance, which isn't really the greatest of ideas for it. But they do manage to force it away and keep their fuel point, which is a fine decision. Utility car pushes up into the front, gets some shots off on those piles. The MG42 had already retreated, and the MG42 down south is still lodged up in that house. Rifle squad in heavy cover in the hail bale. They are in range of that MG42, so they need to move themselves out of the way. They actually get themselves in range of it again, but they are moving away, so they are not in sight range. Sniper on the field, now fully patched up, back to full strength, and only 2 kills to its name, so it hasn't done too much. However, it will become a thorn and a thread once again. Back at base, we now see Tier 3 going down for Derek. The utility car does force the MG42 to pop out of the house. MG42 not currently retreating, just outside of the house. Will be forced to retreat as it moves in. As minefields do manage to inflict a decent amount of damage there to that utility car, as it is, you know, a light vehicle. It isn't really very armored, especially without the armored skirts. Armored skirts only now getting upgraded there for DaneNeral, and that will provide him some armor boost. 50 cal machine gun on top, manages to decrew that MG42. MG42 now there for the taken, and for some reason I'm stuttering. There we go. And we see the troops, once again, Pios and MGs just pushing out forward. But yeah, I mean, this utility car needed to be a little bit more active, more harassive, because yeah, there's nothing to oppose it on the field right now. Still, I mean, it's doing a good job. Cleared out an MG, capturing some points. It's doing work. It's doing work. It's okay. I mean, obviously, there's no way for Derek to know that there's nothing to oppose it on the field right now. Only now we see that, DaneNeral. Only now we see that Derek has decided to go for the, for a Grenadier, and finally that would actually be a small amount of a threat for that utility car, as the Faust can disable it. For example, this rear echelon squad inside the church isn't really doing anything. It could actually be out there fighting. Churches are, well, not churches, but buildings are good things for your troops to pop in an engagement, and if you're going to leave something in there, maybe an MG squad, which is the logical choice, but no, I mean, just by itself, probably not the best idea. Up in the north, Sniper getting some shots off there on those rifles. Is that a veteran rifle squad? No, all of them are just standard riflemen, so. Sniper moving under cloak, right on top of all those rifles, getting some shots off at a distance. Well, not a distance, really point blank range. Missing, and the rifles make it out of there alive. Utility car is down south, could be used to move up to the north now. Gren squad is on the field. The utility car will actually be running straight into that Gren squad for a second there. We'll take some shots, but move along because it is going towards the center. Pioneer squad in the center forced away. Pioneer squad moving up to the north, and we still have the sniper and an MG42 up in the north. The utility car retreats. I mean, not utility car, the sniper retreats as the utility cars moves in that direction. Gren's in the center getting upgraded with an LMG. We still have that ambulance just sitting around. The rear echelon squad again sitting around there, not doing too much. We got rifles back there. Major has been acquired for DaneNeral, so he's probably going to be using it to set up the forward retreat point right there where the ambulance is, considering that he has his rear echelon squad nearby. He, you know, he probably wants to do that. DaneNeral, however, floating 1,200 manpower. Why? I have no idea. I mean, always remember that you have the options of building fighting positions. I mean, those are great. You can spend your munitions there if you need to, and you can also put your rear echelon squad inside of it, and that will give them the ability to throw rifle grenades. It's a lot better than a simple building, so, you know, keep that in mind. But yeah, I mean, 1,400 manpower being floated, that is not something that you want to be doing. Also, if you have that much manpower, make sure you take your enemy's weapons, recover them, and crew them, because, well, that's more manpower that you can use. But, well, I suppose that's not going to be happening for now. So we finally see him starting to spend something in a Sherman tank. Goes for the Sherman, so I'm assuming he's going to go for the ECH later on. But yeah, I mean, DaneNeral, I mean, has an easy time right now because his opponent is also not really doing much. Doesn't have too much in the way of float. I mean, he has 600 manpower up there and 130 fuel. But he doesn't have much as way of forces, really. I mean, spending, getting those caches, fuel caches and such. Yeah, I don't know. Not very fond of this gameplay here, but we'll see. Rifle squad's pushing forward. Nice grenade right on top of the Grens. They managed to move out of the way as the Grens... Okay, well, I mean, that's fine, I suppose. Retreating, you know, frequently here with a retreat point in the center isn't too bad of an idea. However, you don't want to telegraph to your opponent that you're there. Also, with 1,300 manpower, you should be reinforcing everything immediately, but, well, we'll see. Also, calling in some elite rifleman squad since you went for the Doctrine is also not a bad choice. Rifle squad over here on the right-hand side got eliminated, however. And DaneNeral is not on point with his stuff. Right-hand side, the utility car got taken out. Got taken out by, well, apparently the MG. It is Veteran C2, so maybe it activated the incendiary rounds. And finally, the elite rifleman squad gets called in, but again, 1,000 manpower still left in there. Sherman tank with a nice looking skin. I like that. Looks fancy. Now going to be running straight into the Panzer IV. Sherman is utilizing its armor-piercing rounds, so it should be able to fight the Panzer IV effectively. However, it backs off because it does need a little bit more power there. Panzer IV trying to chase down the Sherman over on the right-hand side. They're both at about the same amount of strength. This minefield's getting popped there by the Sherman, not actually doing too much. And the rear echelon squad is nearby that could actually provide some repairs. Rifles pushing towards in the center. Grenadier squad, the only thing there to stop them. We do have a sniper on the field. 9 kills to its name now. Sherman pushes up to the center, getting some shots off onto those guys, but it does still have the armor-piercing rounds equipped because of the presence of that Panzer IV. So it's understandable. It's not a bad thing, really. But, yeah, it's not able to do too much in that engagement. However, DaneNeral really easily wins that engagement because, again, there's not much on the field for Derek to fight with. Rifle squad up in the north engaging the Pio squad. Pio squad is losing the engagement, as it well should, and away they go. MG's still on the world. Nobody picking them up. And the Panzer IV down south is going to get repaired there by those Pios. Sniper moving back out as it got a little bit healed up there. And a slow engagement here. Not much going on. Lieutenant pushing forward a little bit. Lieutenant throws a grenade at the Gren squad, misses completely, forces the retreat, goes back. Sherman on the field. Jackson tank destroyer getting produced for DaneNeral. Again, he is floating 1,200 manpower, not what you want to be doing. Also remember that with, you know, your guys, you can build fuel caches on all your strategic points if you have that much manpower and you don't have no way to spend it. It's always a possibility. Center point, big engagement here by Derek. Brings up his Panzer IV and his Grens to engage the Sherman and all the troops. The rear echelon squad goes down. We see the flamethrowers going off on the rifle squads right on top of the Grens. Grens forced away. The Panzer IV is in bad shape. It is down to about 25% strength. The Sherman also not looking very peachy. We have the Jackson tank destroyer on the field for DaneNeral. He's moving straight. Beelining for the Panzer IV. Panzer IV goes down, out of control, takes a shot at the Jackson. Does a little bit of damage, and it will actually take a second shot before it dies. Decides to get shot by the Jackson, and down it goes. So DaneNeral again in a very good spot. We have a Stug on the field for Derek. The Jackson tank destroyer moves back out of the way as the Stug does have a massive amount of range. So it is able to confront it. However, with the rifles nearby, the ambulance was lost, however, so it needs to get replaced. But these rifles could actually just simply push forward and get a rifle grenade off on that Stug, disabling a little bit and allowing the Sherman and the Jackson to come back in. U.S. forces utilizing their awesome ability of decrewing their own vehicles and repairing it. Gives them a lot of versatility, but it's why they don't have heavy tanks, because otherwise it would be kind of very ridiculous. Sherman up north, high explosive rounds now equipped, chasing down a Garand squad. Completely whiffs that shot. Who knows where that landed? And eliminates a Garand squad. So nice pickup there for Mr. DaneNeral and his 1,400 manpower. But yeah, I mean, this point, these 2 points down south, all of them could get upgraded with fuel caches if you wanted to do that and just start pumping out tanks. But yeah, I mean, you don't want to have 1,500 manpower. White phosphorus smoke barrage being called in right on top of the victory point. The Pyos move out of the way. The Major is exposed there, and the rifle squads are nearby, not getting reinforced or healed up. They need to get reinforced quickly. I mean, it's not like he doesn't have the manpower. Both players now floating over 1k manpower. Sherman up in the north, losing the fight against Stugs and Drugs too, I guess. But yeah, I mean, he's not moving out of the way. He needs to get the hell out of there. If he can get a circle strafe going on the Stug, he could win. He actually has a chance as the Stug missed its shot. Stug gonna take another shot, however. Main gun gets destroyed on the Sherman. The Sherman now is just gonna sit in front of there and die. He should have gotten out when he had the chance. The crew actually pops out, and at least he has the crew alive at Veteran C3, so that crew could potentially pop into the Jackson Tank Destroyer. The Jackson Tank Destroyer only has a Veteran C1 crew. So, you know, in a situation like that, you could do that and give the tank to the more experienced crew, even though that crew decided to just sit in front of a Stug and get itself killed. You know, remember that those who fight and run away live to fight another day. We see Doctrine selection for Derek. That is the Mobile Defense Doctrine. Calls in a pair of Ostrupen. I forget what it's called. What is it called? It's the Ostrupen Reserves. So it calls in a squad with an LMG and Veteran C1, and a squad with no heavy weapon and Veteran C1. So Ostrupen is getting called in, and at the same time a Puma gets called in onto the field. Puma and Stug, those are actually very difficult to deal with. They have a surprising amount of anti-tank firepower, so I mean, the Jackson will have a difficult time taking them on together, but if they combine their efforts, they should be fine. Vehicle crew decides to pop into the house because that's what it does, apparently. Rifles throwing their smoke grenades to conceal their movement and get themselves in close. There is a sniper on the field. For Derek, Sniper has gotten 13 kills to its name now. Not too impressive, but something, I guess. Wow, sorry about that. Took a little bit of a drink and almost choked to death. Rifle squad is in the center, retreating. Ostrupen pushing forward right on top of the retreat spot. The rifles are going to be holding the line. We have LMGs at a distance. We see the Major calling in one of his artillery barrages, although, well, you know, that is, no, yeah, Fate Rapid Barrage, very nice. So he fakes the barrage ability on top of that, forces the Ostrupen to move. And we see a smoke grenade getting popped right in front of that MG42, breaking its line of sight and making it unable to shoot. The rifleman squad with its flamethrower pushes forward, gets right on top of that MG, and starts laying down a lot of firepower. Ostrupen squad is down to 2 men and is forced to retreat. So, I mean, DaneNeral does have a decent amount of control of his troops. I mean, he knows how to handle them when he doesn't just leave them there to die. But, I mean, his, I suppose you could say, macro is severely lacking. I mean, 1,700 manpower is not something you should be doing. That 1,700 manpower could be on the field right now in the way of troops, in the way of infantry at the very least, providing him a massive amount of map control and pretty much putting an end to the game a lot earlier on. So in the center, we see the Jackson Tank Destroyer getting taken out. It actually gets abandoned, so that gives DaneNeral the opportunity to recover that. However, Derek is no scrub. He knows that he cannot leave it there for his enemy, and pops it with his Stug and makes it out of there. The Puma did go down. However, I mean, the mission was accomplished. MG42 still shooting inside of the church. The crew inside, Veterancy 3, down to 2 men. Down to 1 will get cleared out and not even going to be attempted to get recovered. Big mistake there by DaneNeral. It's a Veterancy 3 crew. He has just called in an EC8 Sherman, which that crew would very happily take charge of and provided much needed, you know, the veterancy of them to be able to repair it and such and get it more experienced. But, well, the crew is unfortunately left to die there in the center. He finally decides to start spending his manpower, calling in another elite rifleman squad, producing another one, and the EC8, and brings himself finally down to less than 1K, 600 manpower on the field. So there you go, EC8 on the field, going to be pushing out. The Puma, or another Puma, gets called in over on the right-hand side, and we have the Stug up in the north getting repaired by those Pios. EC8 pushes into the center. Oh, nice shot. Nails the Pios, forces them away. Oh, this is Sharon. I was hearing a rattle noise, but I didn't know what it was. It's my chair, apparently. Okay. Rifles pushing into the center. MG42 set up to stop them. We still have the sniper on the field. Now 19 kills to its name in Veterancy 2. Rear echelon squad moving over to the left-hand side. The crew did actually get I don't know how you say it. Extradited? No. Evacuated? I don't know. The crew made it out. It's Veterancy 3 and on the field. This, like I said, these guys could actually take over the role of the crew inside this this EC8 and make it a lot more powerful. But we'll see. Rifle squad on the left-hand side. I mean, in the center, really. Not sure why. More veteran rifle squads getting called in. So finally, he decides to start utilizing that. Look at the amount of infantry he has now. He could have had that so much earlier on in the game and not make it last this long. He could have been much more potent, much more in control, but he decided against that, which is unfortunate. 2 Pumas and a Stug going up against 1 EC8 by itself. The EC8 doing a decent job, actually, kiting the tanks, and actually takes out the Puma. Puma shoots back in retaliation one last time. Actually, a second time. No, there it goes. And goes down. Stug still on the field, and the other Puma moves over to the left-hand side, but that EC8 managing to handle itself quite effectively. The crew inside is now Veterancy 3, so it doesn't actually matter. No, wait, yes, no, maybe? Yeah, there it goes. So we have 2 Veterancy 3 crews that could actually work or help out to repair this, and it's not like he doesn't have the manpower for it. But in the north, rifle squads and rear echelon squad going for a cap. Rifle squad getting on top of the Puma. They could throw a rifle grenade at it. They actually get in range of it, and they do. There goes the rifle grenade. Boom! Nails it, and the Puma has a disabled engine. It's engine damage, standard engine damage, so it's not too heavily disabled, but makes it a little bit more vulnerable. Rifle squad goes for the cap of the points up north. The sniper still on the field. 23, 24 kills to its name now. But yeah, I mean, you can see what DaneNeral allowed to happen by not utilizing his resources. Derek has pushed them pretty much all the way back to his base. Even the fuel point on the right-hand side is being lost. The EC8 is pushing forward, getting a lot of damage in there. It's currently shocked as the Stug, I think it may be target weak point. EC8 comes online, getting some shots off on the Stug. The Stug is at about Veterancy 2, gets itself upgraded with armored skirts. This rifle squad over here could also throw a rifle grenade now, but it's not going to. The EC8 gets some shots off on the Puma. The Puma may actually be going down. The EC8 backs off a little bit as it is very low in health, but it could actually pick off the Puma. Shot flies, it misses the Puma completely. It's going to take another shot. No, the Puma going to shoot back in return. Oh, well, it actually nails the Pios. Pios take quite a bit of damage there. But all the troops for DaneNeral are forced to retreat. They're all back at base, which is unfortunate. We have... Oh, yeah, I was looking at him like, where are they? The crew over here repairing the tank. We have another crew following it around. In this situation where the crew no longer has a vehicle to crew, it's a nice idea to keep it close by where the tank would be, because they could actually utilize the repair critical ability to get that engine up and running in the middle of a fight almost. So that wouldn't be a bad idea. I mean, it's not something you get to do a lot, so it's not something you think about too often. Usually it's like, oh, I'll just pop out my crew, repair critical, and pop back in. But since you have a crew with no vehicles, you know, it's something to keep in mind. Crew in the center does go for the victory point. Victory points are 388 for DaneNeral, 151 for Derek. So Derek is, like I like to say a lot of time, running out of time there by that, but, you know, not too much happening. Rifles push forward. They can get in range for rifle grenades on that. And the crew in the center is, well, it's just sitting around there. Major being utilized in the engagement to move up to the center. And the crew, Veteran C3 crew, will be dying to that Stug. No, it makes it out. Okay, there you go. EC8 pushes up again, manages to take out the Stug, which is a nice thing for it. The Puma, trying to engage the Sherman EC8, is doing so, but gets itself destroyed. So with that one tank, DaneNeral manages to put the pressure back on Derek. Derek pushes up with his second Stug, but only manages to get some damage in there, and EC8 makes it out of there alive. Not enough fuel just yet for a DaneNeral, but again, with 700 manpower, he could have built caches on all these points and prevent them from being stolen very easily and have more fuel, but, well, he decided to almost get up to 2k before he utilized it, so, well, there you go. Rifles on the right-hand side, going to go cap that point. Victory points are currently triple capped against his opponent. 127 points remain for Derek, but he is pretty much in control of the entire map right now. There's scattered troops for DaneNeral all over the place, trying to recapture territories behind the lines and such, which is, you know, a decent ability or tactic to pretty much make chaos and disarray, but it doesn't change the fact that right now most of the map is controlled by Derek. EC8 pushes forward, now fully repaired in Veterans in 3. Let's say it has the radio net, obviously, which makes it better with more tanks, but there's no other tanks just yet. Veterans C rank 2. Elite crews navigate the battlefield with ease, as well as fire the main gun with greater accuracy, so more accuracy. And gun targeting and rate of fire, so rate of fire increases at 3. So it makes it much more deadly in Veterans C3. The Stug, though, set up right in front of it, forces it to back off as it does have more range, so EC8 is forced to back off. Ostrupen in the center, getting surrounded here by Riflemen. The Riflemen do have flamethrowers equipped, so those guys will take a lot of damage to the flamethrower. One of them catches fire immediately, more catching fire, and the hit retreat down to 2 men. Can they make it out through 2 rifle squads? It looks not. No, they actually sit in front of them. They're dead. Yeah. Down to 1 man. Well, actually... Wow. Had 1 guy powered through. Rifle squad on the right-hand side. Flamethrower again forces away Ostrupen. We have a lot of Ostrupen on the field for Derek. More elite riflemen getting called in, as that manpower is being spent finally now in some way or another. Rifleman squad is forced to retreat on the right-hand side. Can he make it out? The Ostrupen? No, the Ostrupen eliminated. It's a 6-man firing squad, so they have a lot of damage coming out there. And they are going to try to recover the victory point. Rifle squad gets right on top of the Ostrupen, down to 2 men. Oh, that Ostrupen squad is actually doing quite a bit of damage. Rifle squad is forced to retreat, and away they go. So they win the engagement on the right-hand side. Sniper still on the field for Derek. Veteran C3 acquired 37 kills to its name. That sniper is a boss. And the EC8 Sherman does have the radio net ability. But why? Well, I suppose it increases there, so yeah, I guess. So this is a weird, so which way does it work? Because it says Sherman has access to radio net, which increases the Sherman's rate of fire and line of sight range when allied tanks are nearby. So it means that, you know, when more tanks are nearby, that Sherman becomes better. But then the ability says this unit is coordinating fire with nearby allied armor, increasing their rate of fire output and line of sight. So which one is it? Does it increase this? Is this tank better when it's around other tanks, or does it make the other tanks around it better? The wording is kind of weird on there, but, well, there you go. Another EC8 getting called in, so he now has the pair. Decides to actually push forward with one tank on its own. He's actually... Oh, no! He runs straight into a Teller mine. The engine is damaged, but it's still not fully damaged to the point where it's disabled or anything, and not even heavy engine damage. Oh! Crew shot goes off, but not before the shot fires, and that Stug goes down. The other EC8 went down to the right-hand side. I mean, even though, yeah, there's some sense to splitting them up because you cover more ground and more angles, having them together makes them just that much better and a bigger threat. Faust's going to be going off in the rear armor of that Sherman, and it goes down. Yeah, that is unfortunate. Panzer IV moves over on that side. The EC8 down south is engaging an Ostrupen squad and getting kills on it very easily. But yeah, that Veteran C3 tank went down, and we now have a Puma on the field, so this Sherman is going to have a little bit of an issue in this engagement. He's going to run into that Panzer IV. The EC8 should win the engagement against the Panzer IV. Panzer IV gets the first shot, however. Shot flies back from the Sherman. Faust's going to be going off on the EC8. It gets his engine damage. It is now going to get flanked by a Puma, so this EC8 is going to be done for, and this is going to spell disaster for DaneNeral. He pops his crew out, gets the critical repairs, and is going to move back out. Nice decision by him. He may be able to make it out just yet. The Puma does get a nice solid shot off on it. Second shot misses, and the EC8 is keeping its frontal armor towards the Puma. Puma gets shot back in return. The EC8 is now turning its rear towards his base, keeping itself alive. Shooting that Puma. The Puma is down to about half health, but no, manages to get a nice shot off on it. Incinerates the ammo inside, and the crew bursts to flame, and the tank is done for. Rifle squads in the center, engaging the MG42. Smoke grenade gets popped there by the rifles, but down to one man, gets eliminated there by the sniper. So even though Dane is utilizing his manpower, he's bleeding his manpower heavily as he's losing squads left and right. No more EC8s on the field. The Puma and the Panzer IV remained alive. Had the Puma died to the EC8, it would have been a little bit of a better trade. However, there it's just the bad end of the deal there. So Dane trying to hold strong. He does have 355 points, and his enemy has been bled to 90. But with no fuel really remaining to speak of, and only rifles on the field, I mean, he doesn't have much of a choice. Really what he needs at this point is to upgrade and get himself a captain with his manpower and fuel, although he doesn't have the fuel for it, and get AT guns at the very least to be able to fend off those tanks. But that is the risk of going lieutenant into major. And yeah, I mean, that is what I was mentioning earlier on, that it's probably better to keep your tanks together because they should become that much more powerful and more difficult to take out if they're running in a pair. Because the way that DaneNeral's strategy is working here, he is relying on those call-in tanks essentially to be his anti-tank. I mean, he doesn't have the ability to utilize manpower to make anti-tank weaponry because he didn't tech to it. And if he loses the tanks, which he did, you know, piecemeal, one here, one there, because they were separated, he loses his tanks, he loses everything he had. So, I mean, he's lost his original Sherman, he lost the Jackson Tank Destroyer, and he's lost 2 EC8s that followed up. So, yeah, I mean, he has to keep his tanks alive for his strategy to work, and unfortunately, it is not working right now. So he's forced to retreat, still has 600 manpower, but I'm pretty sure he's just waiting around now. He's not reinforcing his troops back at base. He doesn't have an ambulance to keep them healed up and push him out. So again, like the manpower, even though he has a lot, he bleeds it very quickly. The troops are finally getting reinforced back at base, but yeah, I mean, what can he do here? He's going to be running into Ostrupen. Ostrupen are Veteran C3. Which is fine. A little bit more difficult to deal with, and the rifles are nearby, but I mean, look at those MGs that still got left all over the world. Nobody picked them up. Rifles retreating as the Ostrupen proved too powerful, too strong. Rifles in the center with their flamethrower trying to go for the cap of the victory point. We do have an MG42 covering it, and the rifles are going to go for the flank on it. With the flamethrower equipped, they should be able to deal that. And the sniper on the field has gotten 41 kills, which is a lot now. That is quite a bit. Vehicle crew going to be pushing straight into the center. Flamethrower going off on that MG42. Forces it to retreat. Grenade goes off. Almost decrewing it. They managed to decrew the MG42. And the Ostrupen right outside in the middle of everything. Panzer IV moves up to engage them. The vehicle crew being utilized to capture the point. And it manages to decap the center point. Can it manage to cap the point and end the game with victory points? It looks very difficult, but it may happen. Rifle squad engaging at range with the Ostrupen, not managing to get any kills as the Panzer IV just slaughters them all over the place. We do have the sniper on the field getting some shots off at a distance at the vehicle crew. No, actually it's not in range. The Ostrupen are doing that, but rifles push forward. They get in range. They can actually throw a rifle grenade at it, and they do. Rifle grenade blows up in the surface armor of that Panzer IV, only doing superficial damage. And the Ostrupen on the right are actually quite surprisingly powerful. We do have 2 Pumas on the field for Mr. Derek, so any armor right now that the DaneNeral comes up with, not really gonna do a lot. Thus, finally decide to go for the captain, and when he finally goes for the captain, he no longer has the manpower available, but does decide to go for the AT gun, which he needed a long time ago. I mean, it's actually fair. I mean, I've seen people do this doctrine by not getting the major, essentially going tier 1, tier 2. And covering their bases there with the manpower, and then utilizing the EC8s as their only call-in tanks, which is, you know, a popular strategy in Company Heroes. You know, relying on infantry and low-tech units to stall until you get your call-in vehicles, which are much more powerful than what your standard buildings do. Which, yeah, I mean, the EC8 is, you know, better all around than the standard Sherman, but I mean, he needed to have kept the Jackson alive for this to work at the very least. Anyways, Captain pushes up into the center, getting some shots off on that Panzer IV. Not going to be doing too much, even shots flying from the sniper getting it stunned, forcing it to retreat. AT gun on the field could move up a little bit, like right to the edge here of the river, so that it doesn't sink and maybe get in range to shoot. But yeah, I mean, I don't see Dane coming back from this. Does still have a lot of troops on the field, but with the sheer amount of armor on the field that Derek has right now, he actually is in position to simply rush the base and eliminate the structures, and that's it. AT gun is set up at the edge of the river, trying to cover the center portion of the map. Up in the north, rifle squads trying as much as they can to win the engagement. They do force away the Pio squads, and there's still a Puma left there. But we have rifles all over the place pushing into the center. Rifle squad engaging, Panzer IV moving up to the north. The AT gun across the river, not able to shoot anything. And the rifle squad up in the north is actually not even capturing the victory point. The Panzer IV moves up on them. Gonna get some shots off. Rifle squad will probably shoot there. No, actually, they don't have enough munitions to even shoot the anti-tank rifle grenade. And they are forced to retreat down to 2 men. There they go. GG, well played. DaneNeral throws, and yeah, and Derek ends up winning the game with 1k manpower floating. So yeah, a lot of issues on both sides, but well, I suppose it's fine. I mean, DaneNeral, I mean, Derek is, I think, ranked like 100 and something for his Wehrmacht. So, I mean, even with those mistakes, he's high up there, so who knows. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the game. If you have any positive or negative response, go ahead and leave them in the comment section below. If you have any replays you want to send me, go ahead and send them to the email that I will put in the description. But otherwise, I hope you guys have a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.